All right. What's going on, guys? Vega here for Serpent X Tech. My hair looks like crap. Matter of fact, I don't care. It's been one hectic morning. This is a show that we do every Saturday. It's called Caffeine Crypto, and basically we go over some crypto news, what's going on in the market. But unfortunately, I am completely unprepared once again today. But that is because I am working, and when I say it's been hectic this morning, it's been doing that. A lot of dinging, a lot of doing, and everybody and their mom is complaining. And my job is to mitigate and resolve complaints. So, is it doing any? Am I doing it? No. I'm failing miserably, but I'm gonna keep trying. Anyways, let's get into the show. It's a red week. All right, it's the red wedding, like Game of Thrones. We're getting our butts kicked. But it's okay. It's still profitable to mine cryptocurrency. A lot of the altcoins took a hit, but compared to where we were in the middle of this week, we are pulling back up. So yeah. Anyways, for anybody that's new to this stream, once again, my name is Vega. This is Serpent X Tech, and we do this every Saturday. Now, if you're trying to get my attention in any form or fashion, you might want to at me or send a super chat. I will try to drop some links because I actually have something going on here that I need your help with. I need some data points for a poll that I got going on. I'm going to drop it in the live chat right now. I think it ends soon. 1 day left, yes. So I need some data points from you guys. Just trying to, for a future video. And thank you everybody who came over from Crypto Mikkel. Appreciate the fam. Love you guys very much. And I would say everybody's name, but you know who you are. Just thank you for stopping by. We're just going to have to flow with me today, okay? You're just going to have to flow with me today. Because I have nothing marked. I have nothing really scheduled to talk about. We're just going to go through some of these articles. I do need to post them in the description because that's what I'm supposed to do every live stream. And again, failing today. Just failing. A bunch of fail. But it's okay. Because I'm going to have fun doing it. So, this recap at the beginning here was talking about the bull market distribution has begun. 5 things to watch in Bitcoin this week. Obviously, a lot of calls that people were making probably didn't go through. They were hoping to sustain the 66K close from last week and kind of build upon that. And it looks like it did not. You know what? I did not tweet the fact that I was going live. Let me go do that right now. Going live. And then, of course, the new people that are coming in be like, who the heck is this guy? Why does his hair look crazy? And what? I'm leaving. And then they're just going to leave. But it's okay. Because eventually somebody will come back. And we'll make it happen. All right, there we go. Tweet out. Boom. Papadakis. All right, so anyways. Somebody says here... are you ready for what's coming? Because I think the tweet, tech dev, BTC just opened and closed a week above the log 1.618. That's been significant in the past. Obviously, looking at the picture that they've drawn up here, he states, are you ready for what's coming? I'm personally not betting on this time being different for Bitcoin. He added in a separate Fibonacci post. At the time of writing, BTC USD trading was around 66K, having briefly hit the zone as a high overnight. Others argue that Sunday's Taproot soft fork deployment has not yet been fully appreciated or realized. And Cointelegraph noted major upgrades have also been followed by significant price run-ups, as was the case with the SegWit in 2017. I just gave it to you, bud. Just gave it to you. And port 143 for incoming and 587 for outgoing. That's the unsecure. I don't like that one. Anyways, sorry, doing work, as I said. The market's not priced in the massive Bitcoin Taproot upgrade. I really don't think it's going to price it in. I think the price that we were going up to is the price in or the expectation. Because you know when big upgrades or news comes out, usually we have a price run up and then there's a dip afterwards. I think that was it. I don't think there's any uptrend would be just from the the market itself, not so much from the upgrade. Plan B's end of the month worst case scenario series of Bitcoin price predictions. He's standing by his estimates of 135K at play or in play, having correctly guessed BTC's monthly close almost exactly for 3 months in a row. Plan B now says that 98K by December 1st and 135K by January 1st, 2022 are still achievable goals. I think that's a little bit optimistic, me personally, but I'm not a TA expert. But all I could tell you, just looking at the charts, on the short term, we're looking very bearish, right? But if you zoom out, we're still in a bull trend. Just will we hit those targets that everybody's trying to call for? Maybe, maybe not. I could see 75K by the end of this year, maybe 75, 80K by the end of this year, and this is a price prediction, but not financial advice. And then maybe sometime Q1 or end of Q1, Q2 of next year, maybe in the 100Ks, if not more, unless there's some serious pump. But there's a reason why the price has gone down, and everybody's speculating on it, but we'll get to that here in a moment. As far as he is far from alone, a lot of people, basically this is stating that a lot of people are calling for, 85K, 100K, or 98K in the next couple ranges, whatever. Characteristic of bull run tops, this selling into the strength marks the first net reduction in LTH holdings since April, when BTC USD hit the highs of 64.9K, which stayed as the ceiling for 6 months. Long-term holders buy Bitcoin in weakness and sell into strength. And you can see here on this chart, we've just gotten our first red print on the LTH net position change in over 6 months, showing bull market distribution has begun. Got our first red. So obviously, considering that you buy BTC into weakness and sell it to strength, see how that works out. And also, it looks like Bitcoin hit a all-time high as far as hash rate. One aspect of Bitcoin that really hitting all-time highs this week is the hash rate after a rapid but nonetheless long recovery from its crash 5 months ago. The core network fundamental is now measuring what it did in late April to early May. According to the data from live monitoring resource mining pool stats, excluding spikes and throts and the raw data, the hash rate is around 168 exahash per second. Now, this article was written on the 15th, so the beginning of this week, and I usually only cover stuff for the week in which we're talking about, Caffeine and Crypto. We obviously pulled back. We obviously did. We went from 66K, we pulled back. This one's talking about 3 reasons why Bitcoin's drop to 56.5K may have been the local bottom. I think that was it. Me personally, again, not financial advice, but I think this drop. Let me zoom in here. Sorry, I wish it was gone to this level, so I'd pick back up. But I think this drop may have been it right here on the 19th. So yesterday, when Bitcoin hit the 55K, I think that was it. That was your buying opportunity. I think we're gonna go up from here. It's not gonna be a steep incline. We're not just gonna moon rocket up, but I still think we're gonna be moving up. And when Bitcoin drops like this is your obviously your best time to kind of dollar cost average into. And yes, please hit the like button. Thank Crypto Noob. Hope you guys are doing good across the pond there. So margin traders are still going long. Could have told you that. Option markets risk gauge remain calm, so they're not too worried. And the downside move did not trigger alarming raising in liquidation. So you gotta think the trend of people still removing their Bitcoin from these exchanges is still up there, right? There's not a lot of liquidity in the Bitcoin market because people are buying their Bitcoin and they're just moving it off these exchanges. Whenever there's like we've seen with the GPUs, whenever there's a high demand, low supply situation, that usually causes prices to go up. So even though, yes, we dropped whatever, I still think November, actually, let's zoom out and look at the monthly. I still think November is going to be a good month. I could be wrong, though. Again, not financial advice, but let's look at the monthly. Oh, we got a long way to go if we want to make this green. Never mind. November could be a red, but this is standard. This is standard. Every time, obviously except for the bull run of 2017 where we found new all-time highs, I would honestly say that every time around Christmas or Thanksgiving, people are going to be selling their cryptocurrency stocks or whatever, making some profit or taking some profit to kind of recoup any of the expenses they had, buying Christmas presents, whatever, for their family. So it's completely understandable. What's up, Tech Shinji? Gundy, I never see you up this early. Welcome and thank you for hanging out, bud. I haven't caught up with y'all in a while. I haven't hung out with DCA in a minute. D-Miners, good to hear from you. All right, so the crypto market has shrunk by $500 billion since Bitcoin hit its all-time high as investors have cashed in on the rally. Crypto market has lost $500 billion since it's hit its record weeks ago. Bitcoin is heading for the biggest weekly fall in 6 months on Friday, having slid 13%. Concerned about U.S. Crypto tax and lukewarm launch of new ETF has fed into selling pressure. And the ETF, remember the ETF that I believe are live, don't quote me on this, are ones that are settled in cash when we really want the ones that are settled in Bitcoin. And I think that got postponed or delayed, or I'm not sure. I haven't been keeping up with it, but we really need an ETF that's Bitcoin settled, not cash settled. So we dropped 13%. If the downtrend continues, the 14-day relative strength index, or RSI, will register an oversold reading for the first time since May when BTC fell below 30K. Will Morris, sales trader at UK-based digital asset broker. Why did it got these long names and titles? Global Block said. In technical analysis, if the RSI, which goes from 0 to 100, falls to 30 or below, this would indicate an asset that has been oversold and would, in theory, be due for a bounce. So usually that's a good sign. When RSI is showing oversold, we're due to have some type of pump or run up, and we're nearing that territory. I lost my spot. I have no idea where I'm at. Where am I at? I actually think I skipped an article, but we'll do this one first. So yeah, the VanEck Bitcoin Strategy ETF is the third publicly traded Bitcoin ETF at its market. Debuted on Tuesday and found log trading volumes were 4.8 million compared to roughly 1 billion in ProShares ETF drew on the day of launch in October. Right, so that didn't really do much to kind of spur on a movement, I guess you could say. All right, this article I don't really care about. The biggest thing is we need to pay attention to this right here, the infrastructure bill. I talked about this in the past couple of episodes, and we need to continue to pay attention to that because, what the politicians. It's sad that whatever we do here in the U.S. affects the world the way it does. But yeah. We'll see how things pan out. Here's why bears hope to pin Bitcoin under 60K ahead of the Friday's 1.1 billion options expiry. That's always been a problem that I hated, is whenever there's some option plays, if Bitcoin is doing good, if Ethereum is doing good, or whatever's doing good, if the price is above where these guys have their positions in on their options, there's always some manipulation to draw it down or draw it up or whatever it may be, and it's really annoying. It's kind of like Wall Street bets, right? But instead of having so many retail investors all buy something around the same time, instead you got a few whales that are just like, oh well, I can make X amount, billions of dollars, if the price target hits this before my options expire. Hey, Bill. Hey, Mike. Hey, Jill. Whatever. We need to do this. Boom, we can make some money. They pull it back, they make their money, and then Bitcoin can go ahead and go up. So it's really annoying that Bitcoin, which is what I would consider the people's money, the cryptocurrency or the currency of the average individual, is now being so manipulated that some of the most wealthiest can easily make prices drop or raise at a moment's notice. So Bitcoin bulls are euphoric when the price soared to 69K on November 10th because the 14.5% gain accumulated over 5 days meant that they were in for 715 million profit. However, 9% negative price move on November 16th caught bulls by surprise, especially since most of the call buy options for November 19th have been placed at 66K or higher. Curiously, that price level has been the exception rather than the norm. Bears might have been lucky because the two negative events happened in the past few days. November 12th, United States Securities, or SEC, denied the VanEck Spot Bitcoin ETF, which is the one I was talking about, where it's settled in Bitcoin, not fiat currency, which again is what we really want in all trueness. No, I just said the host. Oh my goodness. Try changing the host name. Oh my goodness. 1 second. Change the host name to this. Server settings and see, and then advanced IMAP settings. We don't need to worry about that. But what about outgoing? We can't even see outgoing. Stupid people. Gotta love them. Alright, so anyways, the SEC explicitly mentioned their uncertainties about Tether, USDT, stablecoin, and lack of the ability to deter fraud and market manipulation in Bitcoin trading. Bloomberg senior ETF analyst and cryptocurrency experts Eric, whatever his last name is, has already given 1% chance for approval, so the denial wasn't really a surprise. So that ETF is whatever. Now we got the infrastructure bill, which mandates that starting in 2024, digital asset transactions worth more than $10,000 be reported to the Internal Revenue Service, or IRS. You should be already reporting your transactions and stuff like that to the IRS, to be honest, just to be safe, because you don't want to get hit with something years down the road. You know, if 2024 comes and you did do X amount of transactions and it was a decent profit, you're going to get hit on capital gains and a number of other things. But the fact that the infrastructure bill is still have very concerning wording in it regarding miners having to track, or mining pools having to track each transaction completed, validated, verified, that's very stupid, because there's no way to do that. How they were going to do that, I don't know. Again, as I mentioned before, the best thing for the government to do is probably to really only tax when you convert it to fiat, because converting it from crypto, say if I want to go from Bitcoin to Monero, you'll be able to see the Bitcoin sent, but you won't be able to see what happens after that because of Monero's privacy. But when I convert that Monero into USDT or whatever my local currency is, then I'll pay you taxes on it, whatever. I'm willing to work with the government, but the government needs to be willing to work with us. At first sight, the 630 million call buy option options dominate the weekly expiry by 35% compared to the 470 million put or sell instruments. Still, the 1.35 call to put ratio is deceptive because the recent price crash will probably wipe out most bullish bets. For example, if Bitcoin price remains below 62K at 8 a.m. on UTC, UTC on November 19th, only 68 million worth of those calls or buy options will be available at the expiry. For example, there is no value in the right to buy Bitcoin at 64K if it's trading below that price. So this is just one of the reasons why bears hope to pin Bitcoin under 60K before this Friday, and obviously it's past Friday. So will we see gains after the fact? It could be. We're really going to need some serious momentum behind us to really push up to those levels, because now, guess what? Now that we've fallen below 60K, that's going to be a major... Let's look at it real quick. That's going to be a major wall for us, or resistance, right? So 58K was resistance in the past. It's probably still resistance now. It may not be as strong. Then we have 60K, right? Then the next one's going to be somewhere around 64K, right? If you look across here, 64K. And then to get back to all-time highs, 66, 68, whatever it may be, this is uncharted territory. Where's the resistance going to be? Probably going to be a 66. So 58, 60, 64, 66. Those are our key resistance levels that we're going to have to push through to see what happens. Well, at least those are my key resistance levels in which I'm trying to see what's going to happen. Going back onto politics again, it looks like, what was I going to say? Maybe I should do this one first. So Hillary Clinton says cryptocurrency has the potential to destabilize nations and traditional currencies. And I think that's actually quoted in here as well. While discussing, this is during a conversation while discussing Vladimir Putin. Comments came while discussing Vladimir Putin, who she accused of being behind a disinformation and cyber warfare campaign. Going back to this, what did she say? She warned about the rise of cryptocurrency technologies amid complex relations between U.S., China, and Russia. So, of course, cryptocurrency is bad. It's going to be used for bad things. Password. Outgoing SMTP server. Yes. Sorry. Give it a try. Usually when I'm on call, I can do my live streams, no problems, but today is just popping. I mean, it's getting right before Thanksgiving. People want access to their hosting, emails, websites, whatever it is. And then, of course, we're getting the countries, just like U.S., Russia, and China, are always attacking each other. They're always attacking each other's infrastructure, trying to find weak points. And that does not exclude companies. So DDoS attacks are picking up, and it's getting absolutely dumb, honestly. Don't you guys have anything better to do? I understand hacking. I love hacking. I mean, I love practicing. But there's better targets, all right? There's targets that really do deserve it. Going after a specific company because, you didn't pay your bill and you're upset is stupid. But anyways, moving on. Hillary Clinton, as we know, is not a fan of cryptocurrency. Thinks its widespread adoption could undermine traditional cryptocurrencies or traditional fiat currencies, including the dollar, and destabilize nations big and small. The former Democratic presidential candidate and Secretary of State made the comments via webcast during a panel discussion at the Bloomberg New Economy Forum in Singapore on Friday. Looks like we got a quote here. What looks like a very interesting and somewhat exotic effort to literally mine new coins in order to trade with them has the potential to undermine currencies, for undermining the role of the dollar as a reserve currency, for destabilizing nations, and perhaps starting with small ones, but going much larger. Clinton's comments come as the countries grapple with both the adoption and regulation of cryptocurrency. China has banned the private use of cryptocurrencies, making all cryptocurrency-related business activities illegal. The recent passed $1 trillion U.S. infrastructure bill brings tougher rules on crypto trading taxes. Meanwhile, some developing nations are embracing crypto, like El Salvador, which have adopted Bitcoin as legal tender in September, and the hope of bettering its economy. And in Zimbabwe is considering doing the same. So here the small countries are accepting it. Of course, the bigger countries are getting worried. But here's the thing. Everybody compares their currency to what? Everybody compares their currency to what? Right? The US dollar. Everybody. So the euro is $1 is $1.13 of us. But then you got the yen and you got all the other currencies that are out there being compared to the US dollar. So now, Bitcoin might be the currency that everybody starts to compare their fiat to. So these smaller countries not only adopting the cryptocurrency as legal tender, but, not basing it on what is it against the US dollar, but what is it against Bitcoin, is a threat to the US itself, which is, you got to think about this. If we go way back when, and we think about when Satoshi Nakamoto developed the white paper and Bitcoin itself, and then all of a sudden attention started to come from the outside, government sources, FBI, whatever, he disappeared. Because this was supposed to be something that the average person could transact across the world with no borders, no restrictions for services, goods, or otherwise. And now it's become something that's really mainstream, honestly. It hasn't been fully adopted by every single person, yes. But it has grown so much, it's absolutely... Like, I couldn't think about this when I first bumped into Bitcoin way back in the day. So, it's a threat. It's a threat. The politicians at least think it's a threat. Do I think of it as Bitcoin as a threat to the US dollar? No, I do not. I see it as something that the US, if smartly done, could benefit from, but I do not see it threatening the US, especially the legitimacy of the US dollar. The US dollar is old, man. It's old. All right, paper, baby. Who uses paper anymore? My mom still does. She still files paper. I don't know why. She still puts paper in her filing cabinet. I'm like, Mom, just print it out. Put it in a PDF. Save it in a folder somewhere. Oh, but what if the computer crashes? All right, put it on a USB drive then. But what if I lose the USB? Then put it on another drive. Put it in the cloud. I don't want them to know what I'm doing. Oh my God. All right, Mom. You're old school. I love it. I love it. It just makes it harder, especially if you're searching for things. But she keeps organized, so whatever. Anyways, the point is that U.S. dollars, the fiat currency, paper money is old, and we need to upgrade to a new world. All right, anyways, as perceived legitimacy of the blockchain increases, politicians in the U.S. have shown a growing interest in turning this nonpartisan technology into a topic of political divisiveness. Speaking in a video audience of Bloomberg New Economy Forum in Singapore Friday, Hillary Clinton said the currencies, yada, yada, yada. We already know all that. Clinton's comments, yada, whatever. Party politics in the U.S. are at times comically divisive. For example, many Republican voters destroy their own property, Nike shoes and Kirby brewing machines, to name a few, after lawmakers spoke out against former NFL quarterback Colin Kaepernick taking a knee during the U.S. national anthem. The entire discussion surrounding the mask and vaccines in the U.S. is often framed not as a scientific matter, but one of freedom, largely stoked by social media posts and statements from conservative mouthpieces. Former President Bill Clinton spoke at Ripley's Swell Conference 2018, saying that the permutations and possibilities of blockchain were staggeringly great, but he has been out of office in roughly 17 years when he made those statements. When a more current Democratic figure like Hillary Clinton speaks out against crypto, could it affect how the issue is handled by lawmakers in office now? President Joe Biden, we already know, whatever, So we do have, as I mentioned in my previous video about the infrastructure bill, that we do have some supporters in the office that are trying to steer the ship in the right direction, but they're going to need the masses' help. They're going to need the average Joe's help in steering this in the right way. I don't have an update for you, bro. You just reached out 15 minutes ago. You're going to have to chill out. All right. So, anyways, point being, Hillary said something silly. People are freaking out. Crypto or Bitcoin threatens to destabilize countries, small and big. Yada, yada, yada. Threat to the U.S. dollar. Don't care. All right, moving on. I mean, you should care. I don't care, but you should care. At least be mindful of it. Be aware of it. IRS has seized $3.5 billion in cryptocurrency this past year. Holy crap. Almost all of the money seized by the IRS unit over the past fiscal year was in cryptocurrency. The agency announced Thursday, a strong indication of just how common it has become in the criminal world to use cryptocurrencies. The unit seized $3.5 billion in cryptocurrency in non-tax investigations over the past fiscal year, making up 93% of its overall seizures. So now to me, that sounds like they're targeting, guys. I don't know about you, but that sounds to me like the IRS is targeting crypto users. That's 93% of their overall revenue. Like, I know, whatever. All right, anyways, moving on. The report marks a sharp turn, toward Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies for the IRS, while digital money has quickly become a dominant form of payment in criminal cases in which the agency seizes funds. Large cryptocurrency seizures have become the new normal for the IRS investigations, said Jarrett Koopman, an acting executive director of the agency's Cyber and Forensic Services Division. All right, bro, you're just going to have to wait. Large cryptocurrency seizures have become the new norm, yada, yada, yada. It's huge, huge number. Certainly, we're seeing a shift in how our investigation works. While Bitcoin initially had a heyday nearly a decade ago as the preferred currency for purchase on the black market online, it has become since a major investment vessel for some of the world's most powerful financial institutions. But Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies still play a major role in cybercrime, thanks to their ease and directly sending payments from one person to another around the world. Bitcoin remains particularly popular among hackers who break into computer systems and then demand ransom. Actually, those ransomware attacks, by the way, the hackers, I gotta be careful here. They developed it, and people are just buying it. The people sending or implementing the ransomware attacks are using Bitcoin, but the real hackers know that Bitcoin could be traced, so they do something else. But yeah, like, people can buy the code for X ransomware attack or X exploit, and then they pay via cryptocurrency, and the hacker makes their money and whatever. But the people actually implementing the ransomware attacks are not as talented, no disrespect, as the original hacker who created the ransomware attack. But anyways, yes, so basically IRS sees a bunch of money from people that are doing bad things, or so they say. But what my concern is when does that telescope or that scope in general points towards regular people? Maybe not regular people, not like you or me, you know, lower middle class. Because I'm poor, all right? I'm not poor, but I'm poor. When does that start looking at the individual who did use cryptocurrency to buy, say, some medicine because they can't afford it with the insurance they have now, get it imported from XYZ country, and I think that would have to be like a ring. Like, it has to be so much. Like, if you were getting kilos of cocaine, then, you know, you'd be looked at. But if you were just an average Joe buying medicine online, I don't think that would be a problem. But when does the IRS draw the line of what is good and what is bad? Because I have a feeling out of that 93% that they obtained, not every single thing was like super bad. They just saw an opportunity to take the money, or maybe the original owner was arrested on something else. Maybe they got charged locally and put to jail, and the IRS was like, oh, they got access to this. Let's go take this. I don't know. That's just me speculating. Put your tinfoil hat on, whatever. Does not matter. So this was very popular. Crypto.com gets what? The Staples Center? Yeah, so let's see here. Los Angeles Staples Center is longtime home to the National Basketball Association. LA Lakers was renamed Crypto.com Arena in a 20-year, holy crap, $7 million naming rights deal that appears to be the largest one in sports history. That's pretty crazy. Crypto.com's been doing really good. You know, we see him on Lewis Hamilton's car, or a lot of the Formula One cars. I see Tezos on, like, McLaren. So a lot of the cryptocurrency companies are really starting to blow up and put their mark on various, you know, we've seen Crypto.com on UFC, sports. There's deals being signed. So I don't think this is that big of a news, but apparently there's a curse. For some time, this was common that people referred to as the stadium course. All right, let's see here. Would love to have proved out that the history of naming rights deals for major stadiums shows there's no guarantee. Plenty of companies, particularly companies leaning on new technologies or speculative investments, have gone belly up after what seemed like a victory lap naming deals. For some time, there's been commonly referred to as the stadium curse. Big spending on naming rights has sometimes even been cited as a reason for investors to question the judgment of the company's management. The stadium curse has hit some companies you know and many you don't. The energy trading company Enron, perhaps the most notorious corporate fraud of the past half century, went belly up just 2 years after buying the rights to the Houston Astros baseball team. Wow. CMGI, an internet investment and holding company, didn't last much longer after the 1999 naming rights for U.S. football New England Patriots field, now known as Gillette Stadium. So yeah, very interesting. The corporate equivalent of buying a Lamborghini, functionally almost useless, but having a huge signal to the world that you're winning, exactly because you got so much money to set on fire. So Crypto.com is doing very well. They got a lot of money. They wanted to blow it. They bought a stadium, and the stadium curse may impact them. However, will it? I don't know. I don't think this is really a big issue for Crypto.com if they spend wisely. Their management has been going pretty ham, though, on making sure that the Crypto.com logos are on a lot of things. Formula One cars, UFC arenas, the whole 9 yards. But we'll have to see how things shape up in the long run. I think it will be fine. All right, so Square, good old Square. We all know this guy, Jack Dorsey here. Payments giant Square released a white paper on Friday detailing a new decentralized protocol for exchanging digital and other assets known as TBDEX. The TBDEX protocol facilitates decentralized networks of exchange between assets by providing a framework for establishing social trust, utilizing decentralized identity, or DID, and verifiable credentials, or VCs, to establish that sounds like venture capitalists. Anyways, to establish the province of identity in the real world, the company wrote in a white paper abstract. In a post introducing the protocol, the TBD developer wrote that the TBDEX protocol aims to create a ubiquitous and accessible on-ramps on the off-ramps that allow the average individual to benefit in crypto innovation. Papers on GitHub, which I will link it right now in the live chats. And then yada yada. All right, so Jack Dorsey, blah 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 blah, really rich, wants to do things, trying to make another exchange, yada yada yada. All right, cool. All right, Jack Dorsey's released a white paper for Square, trying to make a DEX. DEXs are really popper. Now, this guy always seems to stir some water. So, Chamath, really smart guy. So, the 50% stake of SoFi. So, SoFi, I guess you could say it's an investment firm, but they, do loans. I don't know what you would actually call them. Somebody in the live chat will probably correct me or something like that. But, yeah, so... Yeah. What do we call this here? Billionaire, former senior executive at Facebook confirmed he moved to sell SoFi stock via tweet Friday. It didn't really impact the stock too much, to be completely honest, unless I haven't seen it, but I really does not bother me. However, SoFi is a modern financial platform that consists of 5 sections: capital lending, investment management, business development and consulting, career development, and personal finance education. That the company itself is pretty good. The company works in the same building that I work in, and I talk with the individuals there, and some of the investment people are intelligent as hell. They're a supporter of cryptocurrency, but I don't think they actually offer any cryptocurrency. But anyways, the point being of this article is that Chamath, a very rich person, sold 15% stake of SoFi. Do you care? No? Okay, moving on. Of course, I have to pay for this. So Ethereum was the metaverse before Facebook. So obviously, my wife is even tired of hearing of it. But ever since Bitcoin did the announcement of rebranding to Metaverse, like that's all we hear about. It's Metaverse this, Metaverse that, Metaverse this, Metaverse that. Microsoft, whatever. It's so annoying. Honestly, like Decentraland is a pretty. Actually, how is Decentraland doing? Mana, Sand, and a couple others. I was looking into Mana a while ago. I had a little bit, but I sold way long ago. It was like 3 cents. Should have hung on to it. Anyways, the point I'm trying to make is don't feed into the FUD, I guess you could say. Like, yeah, congratulations, Metaverse, whatever. But before Facebook rebranded and drew attention to the cryptocurrencies, which I guess was a good thing because Facebook drew attention and helped boost Decentraland, Sand, and a couple others. Ethereum was the OG before all of this, and Facebook decided to stir up the pot, so to speak. That was what that article was talking about, but I can't load it because they want me to pay for the subscription, which I'm not going to pay. Moving on, Tesla and Elon Musk, a devotee. Cathie Wood issued a serious Bitcoin and Ethereum Fed warning, but held her huge 500K price prediction. Bitcoin and Ethereum and other major cryptocurrencies have swung wildly this week, you think? The Bitcoin price has rallied towards 60K. Okay. But it's not so much now. Now, as traders and investors watch the news for who will be the next chair of the U.S. Federal Reserve, Arc Investment Management Chief Executive Cathie Wood has renewed her huge Bitcoin price prediction, but warned over the increasing likelihood of Fed raising interest. A lot of people are into cryptocurrencies because they're worried about the inflation, they're worried about the Fed increasing interest, they're worried about the valuing of the dollar, they're worried about a lot of things. So it's really a hedge against our fiat currency, which is tanking and going to crap. But I don't think this is going to be a long-term problem. I think the U.S. eventually will, the whole world economy, not just the U.S., the whole world economy will win out. Will wind up getting back on its feet after the pandemic. Things will start to flow again. We won't have blockades of a bunch of tankers off the coast of your country trying to unload or load. Fuel prices will go back to normal, whatever normal is. Milk will be cheaper. Food will be cheaper. Things will level off. GPUs will be cheaper. Oh my God, is that a day that's coming? I don't know. Just got to be patient. Everybody now. Honestly, let me speak to some of the youth real quick. When I say youth, you know what you are. All right, I'm not talking about to my OGs, the older dads and moms and aunties and all that stuff. A lot of youth nowadays want instant gratification. It's so annoying. 9 times out of 10, as an adult, the problem you're working to fix is not going to resolve unless you take some action. You can't just sit there and want something to work or want something to get done or want something to just be unless you do something, unless you work towards it. Instant gratification is plaguing our world, right? That's why games got ruined, for example, right? Games got ruined because, it took forever to do this and get that. I wanted to get this mount, or I wanted to get this armor piece or this weapon. And so the game started to be free to play but pay to win, right? They wanted this instant gratification. Oh, I did one quest, I get this awesome thing. Like, you get rewarded for such the littlest things that when you do, you don't even worry about the big things. Stop. Go out and get it. Go out and try to fight. Go out and try to do something. Don't just sit on your ass, guys. Come on. And some of the youth are really good. Some of the youth are proponents in their world. They're leaders. They are trying to make change. But complaining about things but not actually trying to implement or affect change is stupid and it's a waste of time. Stop. Sorry, just want to vent there for a minute. Alright, so new photos of the actual Intel Arc Alchemist graphics cards emerge. And that may have been, by the way, that previous comment and rant was not even directed towards anybody watching in live chat. I'm just saying that in general. So if there are any youth that watch my channel. I mean no disrespect. I just want to light a fire underneath you to go out and get it. My sons are, I have one that does try, and I have one that doesn't, and it's really annoying to see that, you know, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink, and you can do everything in your power to give you the tools to succeed, but you don't use the tools to succeed. You just want it done for you. You can't. Just stop. It's not laziness. It's just the drive isn't there. I want y'all to have the drive, the fire, the passion. I'm passionate about mining. When I can't figure out something, I'm always sitting there. I'm tweaking. I'm tuning. I go to sleep. If I can't figure out the problem, I'll be up the next morning trying to fix it, trying to figure it out. That's just it's the drive. You got to have that internal fire in you. If you want to call it a spirit or whatever, it doesn't matter. Anyways, moving on to wrap up the show here. Intel Arc Alchemist graphics cards emerge. We got some pictures here. Looks kind of generic. You know, got the silver GPU shroud. It's got a little copy of the Radeon GPUs right here on the side, as you can see from the vents. A short PCB, of course, gets cut off right here. So we got this top vented section, I guess you could say. And then we got an even shorter GPU. This is Moore's Law is Dead, which is somebody I recommended everybody watch. Really good individual. Matter of fact, you know what? If we look at this smaller card here, you can see that there's no GPU power. It's powered by the 75 watts through the PCIe slot. So let's see here. We can see the PCB layout. Obviously, we got some POS caps or SP caps and MLCCs on here. I don't know if this is the actual PCB, and obviously we see some stuff that's kind of blacked out. This one, because the way they blacked it out, kind of reminds me of for memory modules. So let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 8. Very weird design. This doesn't look like a GPU memory module, but we know that we've seen that with Nvidia, right? They put one down here towards the PCIe slot. But I mean, it looks okay. I really need more detail in the actual thing, but it looks like we get one flagship desktop model, which will only require an 8-pin and 6-pin connectors, which is a TDP of 225 watts. This should also be the advent of PCIe 5.0 and Gen 5 connector. Alright, so we got the DG2 512 EU. And then what's the other one? The DG2 128 EU. And that's actually, I forgot the unit of measurement that they use, the EU, or what the EU stands for, but you can't compare CUDA cores to EUs and vice versa. This is something that we're really going to want to wait for actual reviews from, you know, Gamers Nexus, Hardware Unbox, and stuff like that. You can see the comparisons here. You know, 16 gigabytes of memory on one. Actually, I think the picture that we saw is this one right here, the Arc A500. This picture that I clicked on, I think that's what this is, because the way the memory layout is. I could be wrong, but yeah. So one's gonna have 16 gigabytes of GDDR6, 256-bit bus. And then the other one could be 192 or 256. I really hope that they go for 256, because when AMD really handicapped the 6700 XT with the 192-bit bus, it was kind of annoying. Moving on, we see the RTX 3080 laptop featured. So it's only got 7424 CUDA cores. 256 CUDA cores have been disabled from its brother or desktop variant. The processor will offer fewer cores than the GA102 and reduce memory bandwidth to 256. That sucks. It is worth noting that according to this individual here, there's also a 320-bit version of this GPU, seemingly for desktops. The 256-bit interface therefore allows the RTX 3080 laptop GPU to carry either 8 or 16 gigabytes of memory. I hope they do 16, because 8 gigabytes of memory for a 3080 Ti laptop? Come on now. That's stupid. Why would you do that? We could see kind of a comparison here of what? What is this? These are all mobile series. These are all mobile series. Traditionally, in a laptop, because they can only be so big, you're going to stay below 150 watts. So that's really going to hamper the performance. So basically, this 3080 Ti is probably going to perform like a 3070 desktop or a 3060 Ti desktop. There's plenty of reviews and information out there. How would it hash? Obviously, we'll wait and see what our China familia or Asian family can come up with. I'm gonna check chat here in just a second. Last thing I want to talk about is Samsung already developing DDR6. Could be overclocked to 17,000 mega transfers per second. That's huge. DDR6 12800 overclocked up to 17,000 megabits per second. And with DDR5 being so expensive now, and really causing the cost to entry into the new 12,000 CPUs from Intel, the cost of entry is so high. We wonder how DDR6 will work out. Realistically, even though they're working on development, I'm pretty sure that Samsung is pumping out what they need for DDR5, because they really need to get those memory modules more available. There needs to be more availability if Intel really wants to get people into their platform. And that's one of the biggest factors that Intel's screwing itself with, is came out with this new CPU and platform, but it didn't have enough CPUs to sell through all the scalpers and bots and all that stuff and the actual demand that was there. But then also people can start getting these CPUs, but they have no memory in order to complete their build. Just like, some people built a new desktop, but there's no GPU to complete their build. Really quite unfortunate. But yeah, anyways, Crypto Mikhail, thank you for moderating. Sorry for everybody that may have had a question. I've really just been just distracted. I would say that you asked a question about Floki. Let's go look at Floki real quick. What Floki is still a coin that I like, but this whole beef between Dogecoin and Floki is not really doing anything positive for either one. It's still okay in my eyes, but obviously it took a decent hit recently, climbed back up, and we'll have to see where it goes from there. It did drop down below Dogecoin even further, actually dropped down. So last night it was below Dogecoin, and now it's below Avalanche. So was that the end of its run? I don't think so, because again, Shiba Inu actually has some real world use cases it has real world utilization, not use cases, right? You got the Shiba swap, you got Bone, you could stake, whereas Dogecoin doesn't have a lot of things that you can actually do. People just buy it to meme it and to hopefully make money off of it. They're not buying it because there's something they want to do with it. They may use it to sell it, actually. Because Dogecoin is a currency that's accepted kind of like Bitcoin and Litecoin. So maybe they just buy it because they can transact with it. Trade the USD to Dogecoin, pay for a payment, done. Where Shiba Inu, I think people are really into it. Not only is it a meme community, but again, because of Shiba Swap and stuff like that, there's some actual use cases to it. Let me go on and check through chat. Dizzy Mining, I'm looking forward to see what these guys have to offer, especially the GPU that doesn't have any PCIe connectors. That would be pretty cool. I'm gonna have to call this guy. Yeah, I'm gonna have to call this guy because he's asking too many questions over the internet, and he just needs to chill out. But yeah, Dizzy Mining, I'd be interested to see how the Intel GPUs shape up to be. All right, I need to get out of here. I got a lot of work to do, guys. If I missed any questions, I'm super sorry. Remember, you guys can always follow me on Twitter. If you do tweet at me or you comment on one of my posts on YouTube, you can sometimes get a response. I try to get back to people. I don't always do because there's so many bots and so many spammers out there. It's really hard. But don't forget, next month I'm picking one of the members of the channel to win some Bitcoin. It's something that I talked about before, but I'll just mention again. Every blue moon, out of the members who have joined by clicking the join button down below, I will pick one of those members randomly to just send them some Bitcoin. That's just my thank you to the individuals who help support the channel. If you don't want to become a member, that's fine. But if you become a member, you get access to the Discord. It is behind a paywall because of bots and scammers. It does require you to verify. But if you don't want any of that, you can always help support the channel through various things, like clicking the links down below to Dogecoin.com, which has merch from my store. It has merch from a lot of great people like Red Panda Mining, Not Your Normal Miner, so on and so forth. Even some new individuals in the space. Congratulations to them. Or the affiliate links down below. So make sure if you're interested in doing that, or you're just going to buy toilet paper off of Amazon, come here, click the link, and then go get your toilet paper. I don't care. It doesn't have to be tech. You just click the link, and then you go get your toilet paper or whatever you need for Christmas. Make sure you do that. There you go. That'll help me out greatly. Appreciate it, guys. So D-Miners, I hope that helped you out. Good luck with Floki. And let's see here. Metaverse is clearly evil if Facebook says it's the future. Right, Paul? Do you trust Zuckerberg? Really? You guys trust Zuckerberg? I don't think so. Yeah, well, people are going to take their crypto earnings to pay the high interest rates that the Fed is going to increase. So we'll have to see now. All right. So some people were shilling there. Everything's good. Which drop? Failure, Midwest miner. Okay, you guys are talking to each other. No plastic back plate. Hard pass. Yeah, so, well, I don't know, man. If you get a water block, you have a metal back plate, then you're good to go. Thank you for everybody help promoting the video. It's Chump Change. Thank you for stopping by. And make sure that you go check out much of the crypto fam. Like Chump Change. Like DJ. Like Tech Shinji. There's a lot of new, and when I say new, they've been around for a while, but new to me, a lot of new individuals in the crypto space that are making really bomb-ass content. So you guys got to check that out. And I cursed twice in this video today. Sorry, YouTube. If you demonetize me, I understand, but try not to. I am trying to grow this channel. So Paul, last thing says here, Gamers Nexus did some testing with DDR4, DDR5. DDR5 didn't help with gaming performance, so the 32 CUs were maxed out. I think it was like 4 watts, 32 CUs. Yeah. So DDR6, DDR5 is high cost to entry right now. DDR6, we'll see how the improvements come on and stuff like that. Don't forget, I think Crypto Mikkel did mention that they're going to have a premiere shortly. Let me see if I can find it for you guys, and I will link it. But if you don't have any last minute questions, if you do have a last minute question, post it right now because we're about to wrap up. If not, yeah. So 1 p.m. we got a. If you can just at least do me a favor, even if it's not your cup of tea, go over there, hit the like button, and show some love. Responsive Resolve, thank you for becoming a techie and join the. I would call it what I call it, but thank you for joining SerpentX Tech, and I appreciate everybody who comes in every week to hang out and listen to me vent, rant, and talk about some crypto news. I'll try to be more prepared next time. I won't be on call, but it would be after Thanksgiving, so bear with me. And keep an eye on my Twitter. I may go live throughout this week. If I go live, I will post it on Twitter. If you want to stay up to date what's going on, follow me there. And follow me through all the other social platforms, Instagram, whatever it may be. You all have yourself a beautiful day, a wonderful day. Stay happy, stay safe, stay positive. And remember, young folks, find that fire. Find that spirit in your heart that wants to drive you to do great things. You can only achieve greatness if you try. Sitting there thinking about it is not going to do anything. You got to go out and get it. So go out there and get it. And I suck at motivational speeches. You all have a wonderful day. I'll see y'all later. Go check out the stream or the premiere from DC Adventure.